Hello, I'm Lawrence Belden Smythe. I'm English, I'm in America, and I'm all about truth. It's my thing. So I've recently discovered that large parts of America are quite hilly and get snowy in winter. My research shows the human brain responds to this combination of high altitudes and low temperatures by creating odd sports. So I came to Park City, Utah to find out if Americans do it differently. Winter sports, I mean, not the other stuff. At least not in this episode. My investigation took me into a frozen ice tube to attempt something called luging. It took me into the secret training rituals of an Olympic silver medalist in something called moguling.
You coming back there?
And it took me onto the ice for a fashion and speed skating battle with an Olympic gold medalist. You're just going backwards like it's nothing. Anyway, my reporter's waistcoat offers no protection against the cold, so before I freeze my microphone off, let's do this thing. Because my name is Lawrence, and this is America.
I'll pack my favorite trousers, my toothbrush and my comb, 'cause America is calling me.
Utah is one of America's hilliest states. It's known for its mountains and was founded by a religious group called Mormons. I don't believe there's a connection. Utah is often buried in snow, and wherever it lies, you'll find people eager to hurl themselves down it. For some reason. But I wasn't looking for any old ski-wielding citizen. I sought a more elusive subculture. Buried deep in all the Utah snow are many of America's elite winter athletes, the folks who do the things regular Joes only dream of attempting, if their dreams are dangerously crazy. It was these people I went to snowy Utah to meet. But when I actually arrived in Park City, Utah, in the month of November, I made a shocking discovery. There was no f***ing snow. What sort of place hosts a Winter Olympics but doesn't provide snow for a global correspondent's visit? It's not like I was there in the summer. Anyway, a sign of true journalistic professionalism is reporting through adversity. As they say in my business, the show must go on. So go on I went. As I mentioned, this region hosted a Winter Olympics in 2002. When it finished, it left behind a bundle of highly skilled local athletes and a collection of strange infrastructure. One of the oddest is this bendy tube-like structure, which is filled with ice. People enter this tube so they can slide down it on their backs in a sport called luge. Two of those people are Tony Benshoof and Ashley Walden, members of the American luge team.
So, what is luge?
Well, luge is the fastest sport on ice. It's an Olympic sport. We hit 90 miles an hour. We travel down this track right here at it's about a mile long. We get down it in 45 seconds. And it's the only Olympic sport, sliding sport, timed to 1,000th of a second.
Why do you want to do this?
Because it's fun. Like I said, we get down a mile-long track in 45 seconds. We hit, there's 18 curves roughly. We pull up to 5 Gs. Super exciting. It's like the F1 of sliding sports.
I'll confess, to this reporter, luging looked like one of the most suicidal activities any human being could attempt. Some folks do it solo, and then there are these chaps. I don't know who decided that was a good idea for a sport. Not that there's anything wrong with it. Englishmen just have personal space issues. That's all I'm saying. It was suggested I try the solo bit, which is why I squeezed into this flattering skin-tight suit. Well, and also to give the ladies something to admire. When in doubt, go skin tight is actually a Belden Smythe motto. We've always been known for our rippling thighs.
What do I need to know for my luge experience?
Basically, for you, the less you do, the better you are. If you try and get crazy and steer the sled around, you're probably going to steer yourself into trouble.
I think there's something in there for all of us.
So feet nice and high. Okay, back a little more.
There you go.
There you go.
And just remember the elbows tucked right
Now,
into your body.
as you're going down, okay, you're going to be taking a left-hand corner. You're going to kind of look that way a little bit. Just lean a hair, just a hair.
Okay.
Okay, and then
Right.
Yep, and then make sure your feet are nice and high. Don't drop those babies.
Tony kept talking about my legs because real lugers keep them slightly raised for the entire ride. Any slight wrong movement can mean the difference between winning and death. I can report the abdominal muscles and overall fitness level of these people is ridiculous. My condition, whilst impressive for an Englishman, and for a reporter for that matter, was not quite at the same standard. As a result, my hosts would not let me experience luging from the top of the course. They assured me doing that would guarantee a certain painful and messy death. I declined to argue. As I mounted my overgrown tea tray, I had but one thought in my head, that this was quite possibly the dumbest thing I've ever attempted. At least on camera.
Okay, here we go.
Okay.
I can report the experience is just as terrifying as it appears. I hope you appreciate what I'm willing to do in the name of truth-seeking.
That's probably not good.
And then it was over. And I survived. Dignity intact.
Everything still intact?
It's still there.
You all set?
Yeah.
No, there was a lot of yelling. What happened down there?
Wait.
You were kind of yelling like a little girl.
No, it's a British thing.
Oh, a British thing.
Yeah, it's a war cry.
A war cry.
More
It
cry on
sounded,
war, but...
It sounded pretty frightening.
I can conclude from my icecapade, luging is best left to the professionals. There are other supreme winter sports athletes living in this region who don't slide down ice all day. One has been very successful in this unusual sport, which is called moguling. I learn exactly what that means and reveal the previously secret training methods of an Olympic medalist next. I'm in a surprisingly snowless Park City, Utah, uncovering the secret subculture that is American winter sport athletes. Those people who do a range of unusual activities much better than other Americans. When one thinks about winter sports, moguling is perhaps not the first thing that springs to mind. From a distance, it looks ridiculous. People bouncing their way down a mountain, pausing only to throw themselves off ski jumps before resuming said bouncing. But no good reporter ridicules without first attempting to understand, theoretically. So, to learn more about moguling, I went to this colourfully haired lady named Shannon Barkey, who competes for the American team in this strange event.
So, are you racing against people?
Well, you're kind of technically. Yeah, like 25% of our score is based on time. 25% is also based on air, so how big you go off the jumps with your degree of difficulty, and then the other 50% is turns in line. So how well you get down those moguls while looking good and snazzy and really good.
So it's sort of like figure skating?
No, nothing like figure skating. They have cute little dresses and like sequins, and we don't have that.
Well, that sounds rather dangerous.
It is. Yeah, I've had a couple surgeries.
Like what?
Well, I blew out my knee, and I came in a little short on a backflip and broke my jaw. That wasn't so much fun.
Why do you want to carry on doing this?
It is so much fun. When you do it right, when you do it well, it is the best feeling in the whole world. And, you know, to go out there and ski and be at the top of these mountains with beautiful snow on it is just the most amazing feeling. So I love it.
When not breaking knees and falling on her face, Shannon has achieved great success at this sport, including an Olympic silver medal.
There it is, from 2002,
Ooh,
the
it's
Salt
heavy,
Lake
isn't
City
it?
Games. 1.5 pounds of solid silver. It's my favorite piece of jewelry.
Really?
Well, I used to try and get upgraded. You know, like because we fly so much, and I'd be like, can I have a seat in first class? They'd be like, no, what if you have one of these? It didn't work very often. They were like, what's that? And I'm like, what do you mean? It's the coolest thing ever.
As there was no snow, I was unable to experience moguling firsthand. Instead, Shannon agreed to give this reporter an exclusive behind-the-scenes look at her unique and never-before-seen training rituals. Actually, more than a look, she let me do them. We began on a mountain behind her home. Apparently, this nausea-inducing cliff face is similar to the hills Shannon bounces down on her way to the ski jump. As I stood up there, looking down at my own doom, I realized if I was going to seriously attempt to train like an Olympic athlete, I needed the support of the media's most sacred custom, the music montage.
I've got it! I'm mogling! Oh!
This is my battle. This is my quest.
There you go. That was great.
To leave the others behind. To beat the best. Like a streak of colored light. Reflecting off ice.
Okay, use your thighs. Use your thighs.
Every part of me still is strong.
Get your butt down.
No more Mr. Nice. How high is a mountain? How deep is an ocean? How wide is a valley? How flat is a table? How black is the nighttime? How wide is a snowstorm? How long is a piece of string?
Just push up nice and easy.
Like I'm mixing my breakfast up.
I know.
I would like my mother to know that I did all that at Park City's high altitude, proving conclusively I do not have delicate lungs. Shannon does this kind of training extensively in the off-season to prepare her body for the enormous strain moguling exerts, especially on the knees. I can report these athletes are agile, fit, strong and fearless. I can also report Lawrence Belden Smythe will never be an Olympic mogul skier. There's far too much bouncing involved.
Olympic gold!
But this interaction with an Olympic silver medalist did fuel my thirst for the truth about these secretive, elite American winter athletes. Once I'd had a cup of tea and a nap. Next up, I go one better, dressing in spandex and strapping on skates with a man who owns Olympic gold. I'm in Park City, Utah, mingling with an elusive American subculture known as the winter sports athlete. Not the part-time ski lodge jockey. My prey are the people who do this kind of thing for a living. My quest for the truth took me to this innocent-looking skating rink. Lurking on its icy surface was the rarest of these athletes, an Olympic gold medalist. His name is Derek Para, and he graciously agreed to teach me the secrets of a sport known as speed skating.
Where do we start?
Well, I've got you a helmet, which is a necessity, some shin guards, a state-of-the-art skin suit, and some speed skates that I actually sharpened myself.
You sharpened them?
Yeah, we have to sharpen them. I mean, feel them. They're razor sharp. You can actually, if you want to, you can actually, take off some of your...
Why do they have to be that sharp?
Well, we're going about 30 miles an hour inside an 8-meter radius turn inside an ice rink with hockey boards and pads. So you don't want to crash. You want to stay in the ice and grip, and the sharp blades is the best way to grip.
Competing with others on a small rink while strapped to razor blades can be a little dangerous. So this snazzy suit comes complete with Kevlar protection for the competitor's most sensitive bits. Kevlar is used in body armor, so it not only complements one's obvious physical attributes, it also keeps you safe.
You want to be really relaxed. Don't get too far back in your heels. You want to feel like your weight's right over your skates, over your feet. You're going to come down nice and relaxed, okay? Get a good feeling there.
Okay.
Okay? That's the basic position. And you're going to extend one leg out, keeping your weight on the leg that's bent, and then bring it back, and stick the other leg out. Okay, try to go to the side as much as possible, though.
Sorry, side.
Yeah, like out here somewhere. There you go.
It's clear speed skaters would make excellent chorus line dancers, and they like to invent bizarre training rituals.
You're getting it.
What does that feel like to win a gold medal?
It's an amazing feeling. It's Super Bowl, World Series, everything wrapped up into one. No one gets to the games alone. There was just hundreds of people behind me, and when I got on that podium and stood there and watched the American flag being raised and the national anthem being played, all I could see were the faces of those people in front of me. And they all shared it with me. I've talked to them over the years, and they all felt like they were on that podium. And that's probably the best thing about the Olympics.
But eventually, it was time to hit the ice. Derek Parra was a roller skater before winning Olympic gold on the ice. I dabbled in roller skating in my youth. More roller dancing, actually. So I concluded speed skating would be easy. Derek makes it look straightforward, just a lot of gliding and turning.
Want me to hold your hand? Just take little steps like you're marching. You're gonna go up and down, just to kind of get the feeling of being on one foot.
You're just going backwards like it's nothing.
Well, I've been on the skates for, a good portion of my life.
Cramp.
Okay, so I was wrong. Very wrong. Speed skating at an Olympic level is surprisingly not as easy as it would seem.
Want to give you a little push?
No,
Derek tried his best to encourage,
you're behind me.
to teach,
Come on, keep leaning.
and to support.
You're not gonna fall, I'm gonna hold you.
And despite clearly looking the part, I can reveal Lawrence Belden Smythe will never be a world-class speed skater. It really hurts. Seriously, my shins were screaming.
This is like having 100 tiny dogs eating all the muscles off the soles of my feet.
As I hobbled off the ice, I wondered if there were any athletes involved in a winter sport in this town that didn't involve pain or speed or heights or skin-tight suits or near-death experiences. And then I found one. I venture back onto the ice to reveal the truth about a sport that probably won't kill me, but you never know. Next! Park City, Utah is home to America's winter sports and the elite athletes who play them, or slide them, or jump them, or you get the point. Up until now, my investigation has dwelled on activities that are potentially lethal to the untrained or the English. But there's one sport my ancestors invented that breaks the mold. It's called curling. And I must confess, it's a favorite of my mother's. I spent my childhood watching this activity appear on my television screen before quickly leaving the room. But I'm not a child anymore, apparently, so it was finally time to learn the rules. I knew it would make my mother happy, and besides, maybe it was more interesting than I remembered. Certainly couldn't be more boring.
It consists of 2 teams of 4, and each team member gets to deliver 2 stones from one end.
They deliver the stone?
Yes.
That sounds like they're recovering from a nasty bout of constipation.
So it appears this is a battle of man versus sliding lump of rock on ice. Looks easier than speed skating.
And now you're going to slide your left foot, putting your weight backwards and forwards until you're ready to push off from the hacks. Not bad.
When not launching lumps of rock, team members practice household chores.
So, Di,
Yes, Lawrence.
what is this object?
This is a broom. Have you ever seen one before?
I've seen a broom before, but this has got, like, a bit of something
Yeah, it has a nice soft padded section on the bottom, and what you need to do is hold the broom so that your palm of your hand and your elbow is facing the direction that you're going.
Okay. And we're smoothing out the path of the stone.
Yes, and it will influence the speed and the direction of the stone.
This work helps move the rock further along the ice, and one can presume provide some excitement for the fans. All the action is controlled by the captain, who constantly offers insightful tips and emotional support.
Sweep, sweep, sweep. Up, up. Sweep, 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 sweep.
There are other rules, but you get the basic idea. Rocks slide into a circle, closest to the red dot wins. Okay, so maybe there aren't any other rules. Mother, if you're watching, I'm now ready for next year's Mother and Son event, and this time it won't end in tears. Sweep! Or screaming. Or knife throwing. Anyway, my curling adventure ended my pursuit of the athletes who perform winter sports better than most of us. I came to Park City with very little understanding of the sports and why anyone would want to do them. I left with a little more knowledge and a lot more admiration for all the people involved. Whether they're hurling themselves down ice walls strapped to a ridiculously small piece of plastic, throwing themselves down bumpy hills before launching off terrifying ski jumps, or flying around ice rinks strapped to razor-sharp death shoes. These are among the most dedicated, skillful, and brave people I have met.
I salute you, chilly mountain folk, and all of the weird activities you call sports. They're dangerous, terrifying, and impossibly difficult, except curling. But despite low temperatures, high altitude, and a public that doesn't care unless it's the Olympics, you're out here trying to beat the rest of the world. You're mad, but you have my utmost respect. Until next time, reporting and trying not to fall on my arse from Park City, Utah, this is Lawrence Belden Smythe.